Ta-da! You were asking, where's the guy? Where is he hiding? Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on Aquaba, Canada. We want to thank you for the likes, sharing our videos, and also subscribing. Wow, just day one, and we have over 20 subscribers. Really amazing. Thank you so much, and we appreciate this. So today we're coming to have a very major discussion, a conversation that borders on every one of us, whether you're part of it or not. This is like the main season where we have about 20 to 40% of the travelers coming into Canada. Students, students, students. If you're a student, tell a friend to watch this video. Share this video with your students. You know why? You don't care about it. But when they come, they will reach out to you. And you would say, I don't know. Okay, Jan told you to reach out to a student. So we're going to talk about students. How to kind of prepare for your travel. How to prepare for accommodation. Accommodation is like 70% of your first week major task. Without accommodation, you can't survive in this country. This is Canada. This is not Africa. This is not Asia. This is not North America. This is Canada. In Canada, you need to pre-book for your accommodations. We don't have agents here who will reserve accommodations for you. So you need to do a good job on that. We'll also touch on the basic things that you need to look out for. Transportation. Wow, you didn't come here with a car. How do you expect to move around? That is a big question. Taxi, you can't afford it. Students, you can't pay for taxi all the time. So you will need transportation arrangements. I will tell you everything about it. Some basic needs that you need. Canada has its own electrical system. So your appliances that you're bringing from home probably might not work here. This is a country that uses 110, not 220, not 240. Our clocks are different. So we'll talk about that as well. And some other things, the weather that you're coming to meet, it's very surprising. It's going to be raining but cold for especially first time in Canada. You're going to be coming here and feeling like wearing a jacket when it's supposed to be like a sweater. We're in the fall season. So fall season is going to be a lot of rain. So that's what we're going to talk about. So just stay tuned and we will get into the details. Okay, so we're going to touch on accommodation, which is the most important thing that everybody needs. Without accommodation, you will have to sleep in Airbnb and you will run out of cash. Without accommodation, you will find yourself wanting. Winter is coming soon. So now we are in summer. You're lucky, you came at the right time. We are almost ending summer into fall, which is going to be a lot of rain. So accommodation, I'll use myself as an example. Back in 2019 when I was traveling here for the first time, actually for the second or third time, my school sent me a lot of information. So the schools in Canada are very, very proactive. What they do, they help us a lot. The school sends us every information that we need about accommodation options, both on campus and then out of campus. The school most times will send you the various platforms that you can find accommodation options. Because the school is not selfish. They would say, we have accommodation, but it might not be enough or it might be expensive. So these are the other options that you can use to find better options which can meet your pocket need. Somebody might be able to afford $1,000 accommodation, somebody might not. So the first thing that most students we do find ourselves making that mistakes is that we don't read those information. Please, please and please, try and read those information. If you don't have that, reach out to the school and say, hey, I want accommodation options. Just send a quick email. They would reply. But what is happening these days is that people travel here and they are now looking for accommodation. My brother, my sister, it will be difficult for you. Because see, I don't have a room that I'm renting. I'm living in a 2-bedroom apartment, but I'm sharing with someone. So there's no space. And this is not like where I come from, Ghana, West Africa, where you can go to a family member and just sleep in their couch or something. It's not done here. So please, the school's resource is the number one place to find accommodation. Secondly, there's Facebook Marketplace. Please check this. Facebook Marketplace. When you go to Facebook, just search Marketplace. There are various marketplaces, but look for the one that is Facebook itself generated. Subscribe to that. Okay, so Facebook Marketplace, let me not keep it too open, because it's important to know that some countries and some locations might have limitations on the Facebook Marketplace. So that I need to clear that. So depending on where you find yourself, you might not have access to Facebook Marketplace readily available. That is okay. What you just do on Facebook is just search accommodations in, say, if you're going to Edmonton in Alberta, accommodations in Alberta, Edmonton. It will pop up a ton of options. What you do is reach out to them. Just send them a message. They will reply to you. Find a contact who would be able to check it out or validate it for you, for them to make a deposit for you. Okay? So that is the first option. So that is it for Facebook Marketplace. It is the best place to find accommodation. The next place that you can find accommodation is Kijiji. Kijiji is spelled Kijiji. It sounds funny, right? So Kijiji is another place where you can find accommodation. I'll put the link in the description below so that it helps you to navigate easily. So Kijiji, you can find accommodation, you can buy items, you can buy cars. Same as Facebook Marketplace, you can find accommodation, you can buy cars. One other place that you can find accommodation is, look, just Google accommodation options or accommodations in, say, Calgary, Alberta, Moncton, New Brunswick, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Just Google it. Google is your friend. Just Google it. It will give you options. Once you do this, just be mindful that just as every country has fraud and scammers, Canada has same. Oh yes, there are a lot of fraudulent activities on the internet. Yes, especially with accommodation. Somebody can just take your money and that's it. You can find them. So please, as I mentioned, make sure you have a contact who will follow up, not a contact who will find accommodation for you. Because you see, over here, everybody is very, very busy. We work Monday to Friday, sometimes weekend. So I might not have the time to be looking for accommodation for you. But if you send me a message and say, hey, I found this place. This guy says this. Is it closer to you? Oh, yes, it's closer to me. I can go find it out for you. I can even chat them and help you make that deposit. You transfer and we do that. And with accommodations, we don't take 3 months or 4 months rent in this country. In Canada, it's just month on month. You would have 1 year lease, but it's month on month. But you are required to make 1 month security deposit. Read my lips. 1 month security deposit. Why? Okay, so the security deposit is to guarantee your stay in that apartment. Let's say I have an apartment and I want to leave next 2 months. The owner will be notified. If they come to check and inspect and everything is okay, they will return your money for you. But guess what? If you broke their fan, you broke the microwave, the heater was spoiled, or the switch is broken by you, not by, let's say, any electrical fault, appliance maybe, or anything, but you broke them or you intentionally scraped the wall, they would use part of that security deposit to maintain that. So the room will be inspected before you get in and will be inspected before you get out. So that is the essence of that security deposit. You will pay 1 month, and then when you're moving in, you will make your monthly payment. So example, the room that you find is $500 a month, everything included, or just the room. You are required to pay $500 to secure the room, which will be the security deposit. If you're moving in on the 1st of September, today is the 20th of August. Before the 1st of September, let's say 31st of August, you're required to pay your rent for September. So that 1 month that you paid is just down payment for you. Then at the end of September, you are required to pay for October and so on. That's how it's done. So it's month on month. Okay? That's how we do it. So please and please, you should start preparing for accommodation at least minimum 1 to 2 months before you travel. 1 to 2 months before you travel. Reason is accommodation is very, very scarce. So you traveling into Canada looking for a room. People who are also traveling from other provinces coming into where you are going to are also looking for accommodation. Because there are people moving from Edmonton and coming to New Brunswick where I am, and they are looking for accommodation. So you would have to look for that. You make sure that you prepare for at least a month or 2 before you get in. Okay? So what do I do if I don't have accommodation? Please, there are various options. Prepare for a hotel accommodation at least 1 to 2 weeks once you arrive. The next thing is you need to look for Airbnb accommodation. These ones you have to do it before you arrive. At least 1 or 2 weeks. That is if you don't have an accommodation and you are traveling in the next 2 weeks and you do not find one. Please look for Airbnb as an option or a hotel. Because when I pick you up from the airport, I can't bring you to my apartment. I'm sorry. But that is the reality in Canada. Okay? So please prepare for that. So now that you've prepared and you're confident about your accommodation arrangement, let's touch on other key things. Sometimes it is considered as not essential, but please, you will be surprised that you're going to be paying about $30 for something that you could have paid $1 for it in your home country. Appliances. So you see this? This is a multi-socket. I travel with this. You know what this does? So it changes depending on where I come from or where I go to. In West Africa, where I come from, in Ghana, we use these ones, the 3-pin. Over here in Canada, we don't use that. We use this type. So if you come here with your plug and you have, even if you have the European standard, which is this one, it will not work here. So these are some of the things that you need to prepare for. Prepare to get your right suitable multi-sockets that can help you connect to your laptop, your phone, all the appliances that you came with, your tablet and all that. Otherwise, in the first week, you will spend over $100 going to buy these things at the stores. The other things that you can prepare for, I will touch on it briefly. Okay? So traveling, you need to travel to the right airport. Let's say I'm coming to New Brunswick and I'm going to Moncton. That's where your school is. You cannot travel to St. John and expect to drive to Moncton. Before you travel from wherever you are, put in the right destination airport. You know what? There is Toronto, there is Montreal, which will connect you to this province. Don't make it difficult for you. Don't prepare and not plan properly. Otherwise, you get to the airport and you're stranded, you're tired. Because you see, from West Africa, where I come from, or from Europe, or from anywhere, you will have to do 2 or 3 connecting airports. By the time you reach Canada, you're already exhausted. So please, make sure you plan your trip properly. Connect to the right airport. Make sure you're arriving well. If you need someone to pick you up, arrange with the person ahead of time. Make sure you're arriving in the evening after work or weekend so they can pick you up. Don't arrive in the afternoon and expect that somebody can just pick you up. We're all at work. We won't be able to pick you up. I might be working from home. I might be working from the office. I can't pick you up. Okay? So let's make sure we plan for this. It's very, very important. Okay, so we're going to touch on clothing and the weather. You see, today I'm wearing short sleeves. It's nice, beautiful weather out there. In the next 3-4 weeks, I cannot be wearing such clothes anymore. Why? Because this is summer and we are all enjoying summer. I bet in the next 4 weeks, it will be too cold that you will regret even coming to Canada. No, don't regret. It's like that. You will enjoy the weather. It's cold and it will be warm in between. So you need to prepare for the right clothing. Traveling, make sure you have at least some warm clothing from wherever you're coming from. It's expensive to buy winter jackets and sweater and all of that. So try your best. Get basic warm clothing that you can come with. Because if you're a newcomer coming from some part of Africa, coming from some part of Asia, you are not used to the kind of weather we have. In one day in Canada, you can have 4 seasons at a time. It's summer, but it can be fall, it can be winter, and it can be spring at the same time. That is how the weather in Canada is. So at this time that you're coming to school and you're coming into Canada, this is a perfect season. It's summer, we are inching slowly into fall. So there's going to be a little bit of rain, a little bit of hot weather, a little bit of wind here and there. It's all part of it. So please ensure that you get these warm clothing and just be. Before you travel and before you come to Canada, check what is the weather like. The weather is able to project and give you 10 days how the weather is going to feel like. 1 month how the weather is going to feel like. Check. Google is your friend. Just check. What is the weather like in New Brunswick? Even in New Brunswick, in different parts of the cities, the weather is different. So just check. Put in your city, put in the province. It will give you options of the weather. Okay, so I hope these information are very, very helpful and it would help you plan, it will help you prepare. What we have touched on today is just the basics. The basic things that I feel is essential and it's important and it's in demand because of the time we find ourselves in, where we have people traveling in, especially our students. So with this, the list goes on and on and on, but these are just the basic that I wanted to touch on. Now, this helps you first to at least have accommodation, a place to put your head comfortably, to have your rest that you require, the rest that you need to be able to start your next phase in life, your next most important journey in life. Next also is that you are able to connect with your family and your loved ones back home. Because look, if you don't have the right socket, the right plug, the right accessories, you can connect, you can charge your phone, you can charge your laptop, you can charge on your tablets. So ensure that your appliances, the gadgets, electrical appliances that you need, the basic need is set. The next thing is also that you are getting right clothing before you arrive here. You don't want to get into Canada and spend $500 on clothes and shoes. You would waste money. You probably don't need to do that now. So make sure you're checking all of this. And most important, transportation. You do not have a car, so you're going to be using bus. You need to make sure that you're checking out for bus passes. Your school mostly gives you bus entries for the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks. Make sure you look out for that. Ask your school, okay? We're going to be doing more videos to help us. The essence of this channel is to make sure that you feel welcome and you feel at home. You feel supported by your community, that you have enough information before you arrive and that you're able to connect with people, okay? That your life is easy. We're going to be touching on what you need to look out for your first week when you arrive in Canada. Very, very important. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Until we meet again, this is Aquaba, Canada. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like our videos, subscribe to our channel, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you share to all your loved ones. See you another time. My name is Jan. Thank you.